I want to build an aquarium to help me sleep better because I have a problem. I cannot sleep in silence. Every night I turn on my white noise machine, but my girlfriend doesn't like it. So I need to create something better that works for both of us. An aquarium that is fully optimized to help us both sleep better. Since I was young, I always wanted an aquarium in my bedroom, and wouldn't it be amazing if it could solve my sleep problem too? So I've made a 3-step plan. Number 1, it needs to create a sound that is nice and relaxing so it replaces my white noise machine. Number 2, it must look relaxing as well. And number 3, I'm going to add something at the end to take this to the next level of relaxation, but more on that later. Oh, and I need to get this done quickly because my girlfriend is out of town for a few weeks and I want this to be ready for when she gets home. Pray for me. The simple things are often the most beautiful, but isn't it strange how they're also the most difficult to achieve? No matter how I arranged the rocks, they didn't look quite right. And I know the artist shouldn't blame his materials, but I'm a novice when it comes to aquariums and I wanted help from an expert. My good pal George Farmer is an aquascaping veteran and he explained a style that's exactly what I'm looking for. There's a type of aquascape that's all about creating a sense of balance and tranquility through simplicity and harmony. Exactly what I want for my bedroom aquarium that will help us sleep better. Iwagumi, a style that depicts a miniature underwater landscape where perfectly positioned rocks create something that resembles nature. The main rock is called the Oyaishi and everything else is built around this. A second complementary rock is called the Fukuishi and the all-important third rock is the Soishi. And this brings the whole thing together. Now I'm far from a pro, but this looks so much better, but it does need some plants. A single pot of Eleocharis grass can be split into hundreds of plants and spaced evenly throughout the aquarium. This takes a great deal of time and patience, and I became acutely aware that I don't have long until Grace gets home, and this might look unfinished. But I do have a trick up my sleeve. The Eleocharis grass grows quickly and horizontally and will cover the surface of the soil in just a few weeks, forming a relaxing, dense mat of grass that sways in the flow of water. By starting this aquarium in a dry start method, the plants have access to more CO2, meaning they will grow even faster, and just before Grace gets home the water will be added and it will turn into an aquarium. So the dry start is not going as I intended, the plants have not moved, and there's this annoying white mold that has started to develop on the soil, so I'm going to add CO2 in another way. By filling the aquarium with water, adding a heater and injecting CO2 into the water, and this will hopefully mean the plants are ready for when Grace gets home. And this brings me back to problem number 1, replacing the white noise machine. I cannot sleep in silence, and the white noise masks the silence and any unwanted sounds, helping me fall asleep faster and stay asleep for longer. It's a kind of auditory masking, which is exactly what I want this filter to do, so let's see if it works. And there are 3 things I need to fix. The tech looks terrible in the tank, the filter makes too much noise, and it's absolutely not relaxing. None of the Iwagumi aquascapes have filters or heaters inside. Instead, they have external filters so you don't see the ugly tech inside of the tank. And a big thank you to Awaze for sending me this filter. All I have to do is set it up. Oh, what was that? Oh, alright. And this solves the problem of the nasty looking tech. But you can clearly see the black tubes, so I had to do it all over again, but this time with clear ones. Oh yes. Excuse me. Oh. And this solves the first problem of the nasty looking tech. Now the filter is pushing water out, but it's not actually making a noise. But if I raise it, we have sound. And that perfectly replaces the white noise machine with a gentle trickle of water. And an unintended bonus, the light is a great reading light, so I was able to read my book before winding down. But will I be able to sleep with this on? Over the next few days, I slept like a dream. The plants grew rapidly and have pretty much filled out. The CO2 really did work. But when I thought I was in a good place, something very unwelcome appeared. The tank has turned from a crystal clear to a murky brown. This brown stuff has appeared all over the rocks and walls and all over the nice clean piping. Definitely not what I want Grace to see. Diatom alley. Diatoms naturally occur in new aquariums and will often go away on their own. But as I want this to look as nice and relaxing as possible, I'm going to try cleaning this with a toothbrush. And after a good hour of cleaning and a water change, the tank returned to its former glory and it looks so much better. And some good news is that 2 days later, the water stabilised and I can add the final 4 pieces of the relaxing puzzle. These tiny fish are so small they are the size of my fingernail. They're found in swamps in southern Borneo where they live in schools and they have the cutest little faces. They are an inquisitive species who live peacefully in the aquarium, and as they are so small, when they poop, it doesn't even affect the water quality. Even though they are peaceful, my next edition have sharp claws, and will they see the tiny fish as prey? Have you ever seen such a tiny crab? Thai microcrabs are a freshwater species from Thailand. They filter particles out of the water using tiny hairs on their claws and have quite transparent bodies. They do a good job of keeping the aquarium clean and spend much of their time hiding in the foliage. The crabs look menacing with their permanently grumpy faces and sharp claws, but they pose no harm to the fish or the other 2 animals coming up. And that's great because a hermaphroditic ram's horn snail lands right next to the crabs. They're called ram's horn snails because their shell looks like a ram's horn. And I love this shot that I got of the snail doing its job of keeping the tank clean. And I have some interesting news to share with you about this snail in just a moment. But before that, the final inhabitants are about to go in, and I was most excited about these guys. Red cherry shrimp are tiny crustaceans who, like the snail and crabs, help keep the aquarium clean by eating algae, biofilm and the fish's waste. They are totally peaceful and spend their time grazing the aquarium looking for food to eat. And if you look closely, you can see that this one is pregnant and lots of tiny shrimp will be born in a short while. The aquarium is now complete and just in time because in a few days Grace arrives home. After 2 amazing nights sleep, I woke up to not 1 but 2 surprises. First, it seems like the pregnant shrimp has given birth and a tiny shrimp, no bigger than an aquasoil granule, is sat snug amongst the grass. Remember how tiny the crabs are? Well, they are 100 times bigger than the baby shrimp. The second surprise is that the snail has laid a bunch of eggs around the tank, and soon enough there will be a colony of snails roaming in the aquarium. I will absolutely have to keep a close eye on them to make sure they don't overpopulate. And some more good news, Grace is home in about an hour. Okay, Grace is literally about to walk through the door. I'm a little bit nervous. Oh, okay, she's just walked through the door. Grace?
Yeah?
Come here.
I just need to pee. Oh.
How's it going?
Hey.
Look.
Oh. What have you done now?
So, the idea, you didn't like the white noise machine.
No.
So, look. It makes a noise.
Like, it looks really nice, but like, you know. You know.
Yeah, but like...
I'm like a really light sleeper, so...
Well, she was clearly unsure about the aquarium, but if there was any doubt about whether she was going to sleep well or not, I want you to take a look at this. So after weeks of work, I finally replaced my white noise machine with a tiny world of animals and flowing water. And the best part? I sleep better now, and despite what she says, I'm sure Grace does too. I want to say a special thank you to Fish Planet London for the shrimp and animals, and I have big plans for this aquarium and the channel in the future, but if you'd like to see another video, you can check out one of these.